Lee, you said that you basically looked around, had nothing to do, but you were writing an article, talk about what you found, and it was kind of a pinpoint that God used to start changing you from an atheist into a Christian.
Yeah, a few weeks earlier, I'd been assigned to do a 30-part series on the poor of Chicago. So I went to the west side of Chicago, and I went into an apartment that was the most barren, stark apartment I've ever been in. There was a grandmother there raising a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old granddaughter, and they had nothing. There's no pictures on the wall, no rugs, no appliances, no clothes. All they had was a bowl of rice. And the two girls had only a short-sleeved dress for each of them, and they had one thin gray sweater.
Yeah.
And you know how cold the Chicago winters are.
It's as cold as it gets.
Oh, and they would walk to school, like a mile to school, and one would wear the sweater halfway while her sister would shiver beside her, and then they'd switch, and the other one would wear it the rest of the way. So these people were extremely poor. So I did an article about them, and I put the address of their apartment in the article. Well, here it was Christmas Eve. No news going on Christmas Eve. It was quiet. And I thought I should go out and visit them and see how they're doing. So I drove out to the west side, and I knocked on their door, and they opened the door, and I'm telling you, it was like a department store in there. The readers of the Tribune had showered them with, you can't believe all this stuff they sent. I mean, there's a Christmas tree with gifts under the tree. They sent them hundreds of dollars in funds. They opened the closet, and it was packed with clothes and with coats, and they had food coming on, and they had everything. But as I walked in, what shocked me is that this grandmother, her name was Perfecta, and her two grandchildren were busy packing up much of their newfound wealth to give away. And here I'm an atheist, and I'm thinking, what is going on?
What are you doing?
I said, what are you doing? And in her halting English, she said, well, we cannot have plenty while our neighbors have nothing. She said, this is what Jesus would want us to do. So I was just blown away by that. And I said, well, what do you think of this generosity of the readers of the Tribune that showered you with all this stuff? And she said, oh, this is very nice. This is great. This is good. She said, nothing we deserved, but it's not our greatest gift. She said, the greatest gift is Jesus. The greatest gift we celebrate tomorrow on Christmas. And here I am. I'm an atheist, and I'm thinking, all I do is pursue ambition. All I do is pursue happiness. I've got every material good I could want. These people had nothing materially, but they had a peace and a joy and a generosity and a love that made me want to know this Jesus that she talked about.